Hey everyone, it's Toby here, Crypto Tips. All right, so guess where we are? It's probably a pretty easy guess. Anyways, we have one of the largest crypto bankruptcies ever about to happen, and it's probably going to put a little bit of pressure on the market, but I'll tell you my thoughts later on this. And also, I got some on-chain analytics that I want to talk about it's actually pretty bullish. Okay, let's get into this. Bitcoin has recovered all of its losses since the FTX collapse. That's pretty impressive. So, like I said, we said this in the live stream a couple days ago, where if you had missed 9 of the largest up days in 2017, 2018, you would have pretty much missed this entire bull market from 2017, 2018. You would have missed the entire thing essentially. So this is why we've been dollar cost averaging. Nobody knows where the price is going to be, but what you can do is you can always dollar cost average, and I think that's really important. Okay, next up, you have this is from the Wolf of All Streets. Really interesting. So each Bitcoin halving cycle has ended with oversold weekly RSI, which we already have right now. This time we had the FTX crash to also give bullish divergence, okay? So previous cycles took 777 days and 889 days from halving to bottom, okay? So this is from halving to the very bottom. That's how long it took. If the bottom is in, this would be 917 days, okay? So we are well overdue for the accumulation phase to start, which I've been telling our subscribers since the FTX collapse, essentially. Next up, now bankers are pretty scared, and I don't blame them. So this is coming from Davos, right? From the WEF. Okay, bankers and regulators at the WEF Davos expressed concerns about Bitcoin adoption and calls for urgent regulation. So while they're talking about their CBDCs, to gain control over entire humanity, these psychopaths, we're actually trying to spread decentralization here, but they are freaked out about it, and they wouldn't have brought that up if they weren't freaked out about it, okay? This is how these clowns work. They're cowards, essentially, so they can't handle anybody, ruffling their feathers. Next up, Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine says he wants to make the country a world-leading jurisdiction for cryptocurrency. Now, during our live stream on Monday, we talked about, we have Fiji, we have El Salvador, we have now Ukraine, and we have other countries that are definitely going to be adopting it. Okay, this is it's kind of like the internet back in the day, back in the 90s. Very few people were adopting the internet because it was difficult to use, email was a pain in the butt, blah, 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 and it was kind of like people thought it as a fad. And even the news articles, as you've seen, said it's just going to go away. Well, this is what I think is going to happen, especially this year and next year. You're going to have countries adopting it as legal tender. I think this is where it's heading, and I think a lot of people, especially the bankers in Davos, are freaking out about this. Next up, you have the debt ceiling of the U.S. $3138100000000. That's how much the U.S. is in debt now. And these people at Davos in the U.S. and the government regulations in the U.S. have the audacity to say that crypto is dangerous and speculative. Holy cow, they have another thing coming. They don't understand their debt ceiling, probably. They're broke as a joke. Next up, Saudi Arabia says that they are open to settling trade in currencies other than the US dollar. Ouch. But makes me think, how is that going to work? Personally, I don't know how that's actually going to work with OPEC and the US dollar hegemony. What's going to happen? We saw what happened with Libya when they got off the US dollar. Bye-bye Gaddafi, so I don't know how that's going to work. But really interesting that they're even considering that. Next up, Genesis Trading. So this could be one of the biggest bankruptcies ever in crypto, okay? Other than FTX, obviously. But okay, this is an update for Genesis Trading. Prepares Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. Expect an announcement no later than early next week, likely end of the week. DCG doing all it can to protect the DCG brand name, even if it means sacrificing a portfolio company and its creditors. So yeah, they don't really have much wiggle room here. So looks like they're going to be going bankrupt. And if they do, that's going to be pretty big. And the fact that this news is coming out and we're almost at 21K right now, I think we're doing pretty good. You know, that was one of my concerns back during the FTX collapse, was because I thought that this DCG or Genesis would really put a hamper on the price. And I think the market's definitely priced this in, but we'll see. It could put pressure on it, but it doesn't matter. It's a good buying opportunity, in my opinion. As you know, if you're a CT Club member, we've been buying the bottom, pretty much close to the bottom. I would call that pretty much a bottom. We scored. And if you want to see what we've done with our cryptos and what our portfolio looks like, and when we are doing trades, the link is down below for our CT Club. All right, guys, that's all I have. Please like and subscribe and enjoy this beautiful city.